welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I am Ree. If you're not new here, then welcome back. Now, in this video I thought I am kind of new to this whole YouTube thing, and with everything going on, and here in the UK, lockdown is now starting to be lifted a little bit. There's a chance that I possibly might be going back to work. So I thought, well, in this video I'm just going to do my normal kind of quick makeup routine that I would normally do if I'm going to work. So I think normally maybe this takes me about 15 minutes on a day. It's quite simple. It's, you know, a little bit full cover, medium to full coverage. I can't go too crazy as I'm actually a healthcare worker and I kind of work in that hospital environment. So I'm going to do my normal kind of day-to-day if I'm just running around after the kids, dropping them to and from school or things like that, now that things are starting to kind of go back to normal here in the UK. So I have kind of combination skin. Sometimes it can be quite dry, other days, like when it's especially nice and warm like it is today, it can be quite oily around my T-zone, so here, around my nose, around here, and I do get creasing here. Everywhere else is quite dry. I do sometimes get acne prone skin. I mean, I've changed my skincare routine lately and my skin is clearing up. Unlucky for me, it's the time of the month at the moment, so I have got a couple of breakouts, but yeah, so things that work for me obviously might not work for you depending on your skin type. I have quite sensitive skin as well, so yeah, I mean, like I said, things that work for me might not work for you if your skin type or anything is different, but if your skin type is similar, then it might work for you as well. So first of all, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Puff Puff Primer. This has got the CBD Sativa, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I put this on the perimeters of my face because it's quite moisturising and it's supposed to help calm your skin, so it kind of helps with those like dry, sensitive, like acne prone areas. I do like putting it on my eyelids as well because obviously you have to take care of your eyes and under eyes because they can get quite dry. Kind of pat it in. I'm going to press it into the skin. Now I take the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, is that one there, and I kind of take that in my T-zone where my pores show up. Just take a little bit on my finger. Taking that kind of, a little bit more, and pressing it into the skin. In those areas, you know, wherever your areas of pores show up. So I get a little bit here on my chin, but it's mainly here and on my nose. And there we go. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going to go in with one of my foundations. My two favourite foundations that I normally use on a day-to-day basis is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is in the shade 115. This is the matte poreless, normal to oily skin. So that one's one of my favourites. And then I normally get this one as well. This is from the FM Makeup Blur Effect, and this is in the light foundation. Yeah, light nude it is. This one here, I believe you can buy online. I have my own, what do you call them? Representer, like person. It's actually one of my friends. She does this kind of thing. So, and I normally get mine from her, and I'll pop her details below as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go in with this one today. So give it a little bit of a shake. I normally take 2 pumps on my hand, and then I go in with a little bit extra if I need to. I go in with a brush. Now this brush here is from Essence, so I can get these from Wilko. I think it's only like £3.50, and when I thought, you know, I normally used to just apply my foundation with a beauty blender, but it would kind of like suck in all of the foundation up, so any kind of like, you know, makeup sponge or anything like that, not necessarily a beauty blender. But this one here, I thought, well, I'll give a brush a go. I don't really want to spend like £20–25 on a makeup brush if I don't like it. So I found this one, thought give it a go. And for the fact that it's only £3.50, sometimes I don't even go over the top with a sponge just to kind of, because I thought, well, is it going to leave like brush strokes? of my foundation, and this one doesn't, so sometimes I don't even go over the top, but you know, when I do have time, I will just go over the top with my beauty blender just to make sure there aren't any like streaky marks or anything like that. But yeah, for the fact that it was only £3.50, you can't complain. Okay, so now that's done, I will just take one more pump and go in with those kind of like problem areas. So after that, I go in with my concealer, and I use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Satin Finish. They do also have the matte one, the 16 hours. It comes in like a black top, and that was just really too drying for me under my eyes, so on there. I put a little bit on my chin, a little bit here, and a little bit here on my nose. Tiny bit on my forehead, because sometimes it can look a little bit cakey on my forehead. And the reason why I do that is to highlight, so you want, you know, the sun normally hits those centre point in your face, and you want to kind of highlight the centre of your face. So slightly buffing that out. I'll leave the concealer under my under eyes until the last, because this concealer really doesn't dry down that fast, and the fact that I have quite dark under eyes, I like to let it sit there for a bit. It kind of, you know, gives it a little bit more full coverage once it's dried down a little bit. So there we go. Now just taking a beauty sponge. This one is from Real Techniques. It's the Stem and Nick one, face and body sponge. So it is really big. This is dry. The only time I really wet it is if I am going to use it for my foundation, and I kind of want like that medium coverage or dewier finish. But I'm just going in with my concealer, so I will just do it dry. Okay, right up in there. I like to take it up the side of my nose to blend it out, because it kind of like contours your nose a little bit. And then you can take it onto your eyelids, because I have quite veiny eyelids, I don't know if you can see that, so I like to just kind of cancel them out a little bit, so that excess that is on the sponge, go up and cover it. Go. And then quickly you want to set that, so I then use the Fit Me Maybelline Matte and Poreless in Translucent to go under my eyes with, and I use this kind of little flat brush to get right in there. Only a little bit, because you don't want to dry it out too much, and then I take that down my nose again just to help kind of contour it a little bit. And then my smile lines, and my chin, so kind of all those oilier areas. There we go, you can see that that's taken the shine off of my forehead straight away. And then for the rest of my face, I just ever so slightly go in with the Stay Matte powder. Oh, sorry. And this one is in the Silky Beige 005, and I kind of just take that on a big brush. If I can find my big brush, where has it gone? There we go. Oh. There we go. So big fluffy brush, swirl it around, and just kind of dot that ever so slightly. And I kind of like to take it in where I did put that Maybelline Fit Me powder, just to make sure that all the powders are blended together and you don't have any like lines or anything. Don't forget your ears. Blend down the neck. There we go. Okay, next I like to go in with my bronzer. So my favourite bronzer at the moment is the Glamour Bronze in the shade Icon from Morphe. So what I like to do is take that kind of fluffy angled brush. You only need a little bit of this one. And then you can kind of see where my cheekbone is. Just take it a little bit higher than that. And I use my bronzer to contour because I don't really like contouring and bronzing. I feel like I end up looking cakey, possibly on the perimeters of my face a little bit dry because of that extra powder. And yeah, I don't know, it's just something I've never been into. I feel like it's an extra step that I can just do with my bronzer. It takes off time. So yeah, just a little bit higher than your cheekbone, helps contour your face a little bit, and then I bring it up into the corners of my hair. Blend it out. So you kind of want to blend it back into your hairline, because then that will help kind of, I've got dark hair, so it kind of helps blend my, you know, like face colour back as well. So all those areas that the sun will hit you first as well, you know, where you would get like that sun-kissed suntan look. But also because I use it as contour as well. So I've just dipped that in. I also like to contour my lips because ideally I would love to have fuller lips, but I'm not into a whole like lip filler. I don't like injections, and I wouldn't mind getting it done, but for me it's too expensive and I'm a little bit scared. So I just take a little bit of bronzer, put it under my lip, just a tiny bit, use the excess to blend underneath my chin, give you a thinner jawline, slimmer jawline. Again, blend up into the ears. Very, very gently, little circles. And then whatever is left, I use to kind of contour my nose, so I just blend ever so slightly on the edge of my nose. And then obviously you've got all that product off your brush, so blend underneath your lip because you don't want to just have like a brown streak. There we go. Okay, and then for blush, I like to take the Roxy X Revolution palette. And this is the Blush Burst palette. This is actually quite new. And one of my favourite shades, so I'm actually going to go with this top corner because it's kind of got that little sheen to it. So to kind of give me that like normal, dewy, luminous look. And again, taking it on this slightly angled brush. Ever so slightly because this palette is so pigmented. So smile, cheeks, and then blend it up will help contour as well. And once you kind of, you know, get used to doing the whole smile and you know where your cheeks are, you don't really need to do it all the time. So, oh, I've got an itch. Ah! Okay. Under my nose. My skin's kind of got that little bit of a pinky tone to it, so I get that redness, so it kind of looks more natural, and I just think it looks a little bit cute as well. So again, ever so slightly, little tiny circles, barely even touching the skin. You can hold your brush like right at the end, that kind of gives you like less control, like kind of more control but less control in just like being really gentle, if that makes sense. I don't know, I can't do it, so I kind of hold mine here, but I just try and make sure that I go as gentle as I can. And then again, blending up will help kind of like snatch you back and contour your face. Now highlighter. Now I normally like using this one called Bobby Dazzler in the Lorac Sculpt and what's it called? The Sculpt Pro palette, Sculpt and Glow. But I've actually got this new highlighter, and this is from Morphe, and this is the 8S Stellar Impact palette. So I have opened this, but only like swatched it. I put it on my IG stories if you would have seen that. So it's got 8 shades, and they're all really different. So you've got Ultraviolet, Aurora, Galactic, Trance, Comet, Big Bang, Meteor and Mirage. So I think I'm probably going to go in with Galactic because I normally go for that kind of champagne look. It looks more like natural, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and then just pop it here. So if you can see where the light is just hitting the top of my cheekbone. Now if I take it too far down, it will then end up like enhancing my pores, and obviously we've used that kind of matte powder and matte foundation to hide them in the Poreless primer, so don't want to be doing that. You just want to do it where that kind of that light hits you. Now I like a glowy look, so I will be going in with a little bit more. So you kind of go natural, but you can build it up, and that is gorgeous. So making sure it's kind of blended in with the blush as well. You can see I'm taking it up again. You know, with doing all that like lifting work will help, you know, sculpt and kind of contour your face. I like to ever so slightly just pop a little bit just on the top of my cupid's bow. Only a tiny bit, you don't want to look like you've got a sweaty top lip. A little bit on my chin and just above my brows as well. Again, highlighting all those areas that the sun will hit. Okay, so the one I used was Galactic. That's that one there. There we go. So you can kind of see it, a little bit of a sheen. And that one. So again, I did all the swatches on my IG story, so you would have seen that if you follow me on Instagram. Next I then set my face, so I used the Morphe setting mist for that. Using a setting spray or setting mist, anyone that you like, will help keep your makeup locked in and stay in place for longer. I'm just going to take a little bit of a card to kind of fan it down and let it dry in place as well. Sometimes I take my hairdryer on the cool setting mode. So now that I've done that, I then move on to brows. So I'm just going to take the NYX Professional Makeup Precision Brow Pencil. This one is in the shade, where is it, Espresso. And it's kind of like a flat pencil. And my brows are quite full. I do have a few little patches I like to fill in. But I just kind of start here, put a line all the way to the middle. And then I kind of like just fluff and put in those kind of natural pencil line marks there. And then again, I won't start my line here because I think it looks too drawn on. So I start my line just here where it starts to fade into fuller hair. Line up to the point again, I then fill in that bit and then again pencil it down, and then I'll do some natural strokes there. So I'll do this one on camera and then I'll do the other one off camera. Well, then I'll do the other one off camera and then I'll be right back. There we go, so I ended up doing them both on camera. Obviously sped it up a little bit, but you got to see the kind of whole process. So using the spoolie to kind of like blend out the pencil marks makes it look more natural as well. So another product I will just be testing today is the Morphe brow setting gel. So I do like these because then obviously it keeps your brow hairs in place. So mine normally like to curl around. So let's have a look. This one is just in the shade Translucent as well, it's not tinted or anything. The one that I also have used before is from Pixie, but this is the first time using the Morphe one, so... Okay, so there's bristles on one side, so just stroking them up. Doesn't feel like there's too much product or anything coming out, so that's quite nice. Just gonna have a look. There we go, I kind of like that. I'm just going to dip back in again for the other brow. There we go, so they don't feel like they're going anywhere, they feel pretty set in place. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, because sometimes some brow gels, they go a bit crunchy and you just kind of need to like spool them through, maybe with like the one that's on the end of your brow pencil, whatever you use. So next is then on my eyes, I just take a little bit of my bronzer and then just a little fluffy brush. I'm just going to take this one here from Morphe, nice little pencil fluffy brush, not a massive one. I'm just going to take that in my crease, so it kind of contours your eyes a little bit, puts a little bit of something there. A little bit more dimension, especially after putting that kind of like concealer in your lid as well. So what I like to do is just kind of tap it out on the outer corner and then buff it in, so that bit where your pencil sits in your socket, you can just windshield wiper mode like that, and then once all the product's on the crease, you can then tiny little circles just out a little bit to blend it out. Then go back in with the windshield wiper just to make sure that the pigment's still there. And then again, those tiny little circles, being so gentle. There we go. And if you want to deepen it up, you can take a little bit more and just pat it on the outer corner. And just do that, tiny little. Making sure it's all blended. So pat, 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 pat. I'll take little windshield wiper motions just in that tiny little bit of the crease there, and then all the way, and then the tiny little circles just to make sure it's all blended out. That beautiful fade. There we go, so it just looks a little bit more, not necessarily, yeah, well, I suppose a little bit more natural, but just looks a little bit more put together. And then I'll take a little bit of highlighter, and then I'll go in with a pencil brush. So again, this is just a tiny little pencil brush from Morphe. And then using the highlighter that I used on my cheekbone, so that one Galactic, just use to highlight your brow bone. My brow hairs are now starting to come through. I'll be doing them later, as much as I can anyway. And then using that on the inner corner as well. Just popping it on the inner corner can look more awake. It can just make it looks so pretty, doesn't it? Okay, so now that is done, I'm just going to take my mascara, and my favourite mascara is the one Showgirl from Barry M. There we go. And then the last and final step is lips. So I like to go in with a lip balm, as you know, I like to wear liquid lipsticks when I'm at work, because at least then they stay there all day. You haven't got to worry about like lipstick smearing or it coming off on anything. So I like to take the Makeup Obsession So Balm Lip Balm in Ice and Sugar. And now just turn it a little bit. And this is because my lips do get really, really dry, especially where I'm a person that likes to wear liquid lipsticks all the time. I can't be dealing with reapplying my lipstick all the time or anything like that. So yeah, just popping just popping like a lip balm on underneath your liquid lip can help a lot. So then I like to take the Barry-M lip kit, I should say, in Pose. Now the lip liner, I find that you can wear this and then just like a lip gloss. For me that works because I find that the pencil is quite a similar shade to my natural lips anyway. It's just a little bit darker and, you know, like more vibrant and pigmented. So just doing that and then possibly putting a lip balm on or lip gloss on a day-to-day basis, then that's fine as well. So I'm just going to line my lips, and because I like to have the kind of fuller effect, I do align my lips a little bit. I only ever do that on the centre, so like here and on my cupid's bow that I will overline, but then I align my lips as I'm going in and then I will bring it back onto my lip line. So let's just do that now then. So next then I'm taking the Matte Me Up Matte Liquid Lip Paint in Pose, so it's to match the lip pencil, comes in a kit. And these ones are quite runny, but you do only need a little bit. They are really pigmented. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on the middle. And then kind of buff it out a little bit. As you'll see, I did use the lip pencil to kind of colour in my lips quite a bit as well, because I feel like it puts a barrier between your lips and the liquid lip, which helps it kind of stay on longer as well. Especially if you're someone that suffers with like dry lips and things, it can help. So that is it on my kind of mini tutorial on my kind of back to work, maybe back to school makeup for the older kids. But yeah, maybe back to work, back to normal reality, and you know, coming out of lockdown, especially here in the UK anyway. My natural kind of medium full coverage tutorial. Yeah, like I said, it normally takes me about 15 minutes, obviously when I'm not having to explain every step by step to you guys. Obviously I know my routine, and once you kind of get into a routine, you do, you know, kind of work a little bit quicker. But yeah, that is it. If you guys have any questions, you can follow me on my social medias and give me a message over there. I do upload onto Instagram more often as well. Skincare, other little eye looks, nails, and all those kind of things you'll find on there. I will pop all my social medias down below, so make sure to check it out. Subscribe to the family as well. Hit that notification button and you'll get a notification every time I upload. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!